Hey guys, today I have a quick review of the Plaud NotePin. So this is a wearable AI voice recorder that can do a lot of very cool things. We're gonna do some testing of it as well as unbox it and see all what comes in the box. Right off the bat, the look of this thing, it almost looks like a nice Apple product. And you can see right on the back here, it does work with Find My iPhone, so you're not gonna lose this little guy. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, before we get into the testing, let's proceed with the unboxing of the Plaud NotePin. So like I mentioned, this packaging is very, very nice here. It has these satisfying pull tabs on both the top and the bottom here. And then from here, we can go ahead and open up the box. And this is what we get. So we have a very nice USB-C cable here. This is actually how you charge the device. You can see both ends USB-C, nice braided cable. I like to see the quality of that cable here. Now to actually charge the device, that cable plugs into right here. And then the actual wearable is extremely small here. And this is going to snap onto there. And then that is going to allow it to charge once you plug the cable into there. So very, very small device here, which is awesome. Additionally, it has a little magnet clip that so you can actually wear it. Look how strong that magnet is. It just pulls right to it, so you definitely don't need to worry about that coming off. Very, very strong magnet there. So pretty cool. Let's continue with going through the setup. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I got the Plaud app and I was able to quickly sync my device. That was no issue at all. I now have it on the charger, charging up. And then I'm gonna have a conversation with my wife and have it record it. And then at the end, what you can ask it to do is basically to give you a summary or somewhat like meeting notes. So let's get this charged up and then we'll proceed with that test. A couple things that I found interesting is that you do have to get a membership if you want this to be able to do unlimited recordings. That membership is a certain amount per year or a certain amount per month. Some will probably see that as a downside. And this right here is not actually a back cover. This is meant to go inside of your shirt so that the device can go on the outside of your shirt. So that's interesting. Comes with that or the clip. So let me charge it up and we'll do some testing here, but the app setup was very easy. All right, guys, so today I got to test Plaud for the first time. I want to kind of walk you through the app, the conversation that I recorded, and then the summary transcript that it actually generated for me. Now, I did this at work. I'm a quality engineer, so I went down to the floor and had a conversation with some of the techs down on the floor to try to fix a problem. And I just attached the device to my sleeve right here, so they didn't even know that it was there. I did tell them they were being recorded, obviously, but like super small, hidden, very incognito device. So this is the app right here. We'll quickly walk through this. So right off the bat at the front here, you can see all of the different kind of conversations that you've recorded. These first three are just generic ones, and then I recorded these two right here. The one I recorded at work, put in the date, investigation, and then kind of the topic, production failures of right angle connectors, specifically the back strap. We'll go through that specifically here in a little bit, but if you go into it, you can see kind of what it breaks down. Gives you a nice kind of segmented out summary. Again, we'll go through that in a second, but I wanted to discuss here. So once it's finished, then you can actually share this. So the first thing I did was I tried to share it as, and you want to make sure that you do share notes because that's going to share that actual summary. You can also share the transcript, which is just going to be each person talking, not super helpful, but the notes, and then you go into notes and you hit summary. That's the nice thing. Now, there's one other thing you need to do is when you export it, you want to make sure you set it to PDF. If you set it to text, it's just going to be a big blob of text. You want it nice and formatted with the kind of overview, action items, all of that stuff. So I was able to export it as a PDF, and then I sent it directly to my email. I also texted it to my wife, just saying, check out how cool this is. But that's that. So let's actually go into the transcript from the meeting I had. Okay, so here it is. Let's go through it. Like I mentioned, it has a nice title. I like that it includes the date. Then we have a couple kind of subsections here. So this was a production issue investigation. It picked up all of this from our conversation, and this conversation lasted 15 minutes long, and it condensed it into a pretty good little post here. So it was able to pick up specific dates that the orders in question were built on 8/11 and 8/12, but they were funded by parts from orders that were built in March and in July. It learned this all on its own. Now it also is going to pick up names. So I mentioned multiple times that an email from Adam said that the fix was implemented on 6/27. It's all right there. And then it picked up where we were talking about parts were applied from different months. It picked up that too. Now, the tooling behavior and failing mode. Now, the one thing that it's obviously not great at is terminology that's specific to my company and my products. Like back trunk is actually back strap. There's a few kind of things that maybe if I had it on my shirt, it would have understood it a little bit better. But it still is marking down a bunch of different items here. The failure pattern, consistency, the process that we were reviewing overall. And then it also came up with hypotheses and conclusions, which were summarized by us during the meeting. That basically it's probably improper seating in the tooling, that there was mixed inventory, which is actually what the real root cause was right here. And then was my favorite part. Later in the day, I needed to remember a certain date. It gives all the dates and references right here, which this alone is like incredibly, incredibly important. It's telling exactly how much parts I said were from each order. It's saying exactly what dates those are pulled from. And then some next arrangements too, kind of like action items. So very, very cool. I have to say I was pretty happy with how this turned out. And the little Plaud device, super easy to use. I was overall very happy with it. Now, the one downside here is that you do have to get a membership if you want to record more than 300 minutes. I'm not sure if this is per month. Hopefully it is, because 300 minutes is a long time. That's 5 hours of usage. And I could see at that point, yes, it's probably worth getting a membership. But if this is 300 months total, then yeah, you could easily use that after a month. And I'm not sure just yet if I do want to purchase a membership. So that's the one downside, but overall, this is a very awesome device, guys, and I will have it linked down below. If you're interested, if you attend a lot of meetings and stuff, it'd be perfect for you. Peace.